another high-level purge. Has Xi Jinping given up on saving China's economy, or has his personal political war gone into overdrive? Welcome to China Uncensored, I'm Chris Chappell. There has been a major development in the slow-motion train wreck that is China's real estate sector. Remember, that makes up about a third of China's GDP, and it seems like Xi Jinping is ready to let it burn. The chairman and executive director of Evergrande, Hui Ka Yan, has joined the long list of Chinese tycoons who have been investigated and arrested. Evergrande was the company that kind of kicked off this whole current real estate crisis. They'd been selling apartments that didn't exist. They used that money to build the apartments, but the debt caught up to them. And now there are fears the whole company could be liquidated. And it sure isn't helping soothe investors' fears now that the guy in charge has been arrested. That could be the spark that sets off an explosion. The question is, why now? Evergrande has been in trouble for years. Why arrest Hui now? Well, we're getting back into the dirty world of Chinese communist political struggles. According to the Wall Street Journal, what sparked Hui's arrest was the discovery that he attempted to transfer assets offshore while the company was struggling to complete unfinished projects. But that explanation doesn't make sense. Hui was constantly moving assets abroad, both before and during the Evergrande crisis. It still doesn't explain why Xi Jinping moved against him now. It helps to understand why Xi didn't move against him before. The party was most likely trying to avoid a hard landing of the housing sector. A hard landing basically means a huge economic downturn after a period of rapid growth. In other words, a third of China's GDP imploding. The party did try really hard to prevent that. In July, the Politburo pledged to optimize real estate policies. And the Chinese people have so much faith in their government's ability to solve the problem that immediately after the announcement, home sales among China's 100 largest developers plunged by 34%. The problem is Xi's disastrous zero-COVID policy basically already blew up China's economy. That means people in China now aren't taking on new debt to buy property because everything is so uncertain. And since that debt was the engine that drove China's real estate market, there's basically no avoiding a hard landing, and Xi Jinping knows it. That's one of the reasons now is the perfect time to go after Hui Ka Yan. If a hard landing is unavoidable now, his arrest won't make a difference to consumer confidence, it's already shot. But it does give the Communist Party a convenient scapegoat. The CCP can even claim it was the savior by moving against the people who caused the crisis, even though it was communist policy that allowed it to happen in the first place. But there's another, much more personal reason Xi is going after Hui. I'll tell you what it is right after this quick commercial break. Welcome back. Hui Ka Yan is the latest to get purged by Xi Jinping. So you know that involves some juicy political infighting in a communist party. So, it's time for another episode of the people's favorite communist soap opera, General Hostility. Previously on General Hostility, Xi Jinping's greatest political rival, former Chinese leader and humanoid toad, Jiang Zemin, is dead. But his political faction is still alive and kicking. And they just did Xi Jinping dirty. I told you General Hostility wouldn't end with Jiang's death. So if you've been paying any attention to China, you've probably heard that Xi Jinping has been purging more than a teenage girl with an eating disorder. First, there was the purge of Qin Gan, China's ex-foreign minister. Then there was a purge of top generals in China's rocket force. And most recently, China's defense minister, Li Shangfu, disappeared. But the weird thing about those purges is, unlike all the other times top communist officials have disappeared, these guys weren't tied to Jiang Zemin. They were Xi allies. I mentioned in a previous episode that China Uncensored, a risk consultancy that specializes in elite Chinese politics, suspects Xi's remaining political enemies could be exploiting the Xi leadership's prioritization of national security matters to manipulate the PRC leader into taking out his own allies and ultimately undermining his own interests. Going after Hui Ka Yan could be Xi striking back. You see, Hui has close ties to Zheng Qinghong, and he was Jiang Zemin's right-hand man. He also has close ties to another major Jiang faction member, Jiang Zemin. Evergrande built its fortune under these two. Between 2002 and 2007, when Zheng was a Politburo Standing Committee member and Jiang was Guangdong party boss, Evergrande became the first-ranked real estate company in Guangdong by competitiveness, impossible without a lot of high-level party support. By 2006, Evergrande began expanding nationwide. From 2007 to 2012, when Zheng became an elite party elder and Jiang got promoted to vice premier, Evergrande went international. Its strategy even became the model for Chinese property developers. From 2012 to 2017, after Jiang became a Politburo Standing Committee member, Evergrande grew massive, even making it to the Fortune 500 list. By going after Hui Ka Yan, Xi Jinping could be paving the road to go after Jiang and Zheng. And that would be unprecedented. Xi has never gone after top party elders before. That would be too destabilizing to the regime. But if Xi's ready to let the real estate market go up in flames, maybe he's getting ready to let the Communist Party go up in flames too. Especially since right now, he's in fear for his life. I have a video I want to show you about the assassination attempts on Xi. But first, I can't make China Uncensored without support from viewers like you. All it takes is $1 an episode on patreon.com/China Uncensored. I call the fans who support this show the China Uncensored 50-cent army. And as a thank you to them, I answer their questions. Today's question comes from Greg. The million-dollar question: will these arms be used to shore up the CCP or tear it down? Now that's a really important question. Greg was responding to an episode about how China is building armed militias at Chinese companies. Yeah, real-life Shinra. This was similar to something that happened during the Cultural Revolution. It was a way to keep an eye on all Chinese people. But could those weapons be turned against the party? That's actually a very real concern. I've talked about one of the reasons I think China will be very unlikely to start a war now. And that's because Xi is afraid he's enabling a coup against himself. To wage a war, there would need to be someone in charge of all the different branches of China's military. That's called Joint Command. And whoever was in that position would be the most powerful man in China. Combine that with a militia in every state-run company in China, and you could see how Xi would be pretty nervous. And that's why I want to show you this video about how Xi has been dodging assassination attempts. If you want to support this show on Patreon, click that orange button. Thanks for your question and your support, Greg. Thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.